We have a brand new bike to start off the year. This is the brand new Pivot Cycles Trailcat. Nice. Awesome. Nice, Hannah.
It would be really interesting to see how the LT feels because I feel like this is enough.
On the Trailcat, so controlled. Let's see if I can even, so much control through it. That is the Mo Cactus. What's up, you guys? Mo Awesome from Awesome MTB. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the first official bike review of 2025. I can't believe we're in 2025, but we are here and we have a brand new bike to start off the year. This is the brand new Pivot Cycles Trailcat. Pivot just released this bike and it actually comes in two different models. You have a shorter travel version called the SL and you have a longer travel version called the LT. Now in this video, we're gonna give you guys our first impression of the SL version. We're actually here in Tucson, Arizona, putting this thing through the paces, and we went for an epic ride on the SL out here on the 50-year trail system. And at the end of this video, I'm actually gonna give you guys my feedback between the SL and the LT, because I've actually ridden both and I have both in for a long-term review, as well as a really awesome project coming at you guys soon. You guys requested this project, so be sure to subscribe to the channel to not miss it. We have so many awesome mountain bike reviews coming at you guys at Awesome MTB, and we're so stoked that Pivot Cycles Trailcat is gonna be the first one. Now, before Hannah and I go for a ride on the Pivot Trailcat SL out here in the Catalina trail system, let's talk a little bit about what the Pivot Trailcat is. Now, like I said, there's two different models of the Pivot Trailcat. You have the SL, which is this one, and this has 120 millimeters of rear travel and 140 millimeters of front travel. It comes with a Fox 34 up front, and in the rear you get a standard Fox float rear shock. This is the XO transmission build, and as you guys can tell, you get the transmission group set on here, and you have DT Swiss 1700 wheels. And you also get SRAM Maven brakes on the SL version. Yes, on the Superlight you do get Maven brakes, and the Maven brakes also come on the long travel version as well, so same brakes for both versions. Now the LT version actually gets 135 millimeters of rear travel and 150 millimeters of travel up front. It gets a little bit slacker, a little bit more aggressive, and it comes stock with a Fox 36 up front and a Fox Float X rear shock. Now, even though the LT and the SL share the same frame, there are some substantial differences between the two. So in terms of the actual link and the rear shock size, the rear shock size is going to be different between both, as well as that upper link. So if you did, in theory, want to have one bike and do both of those, you're going to need different rear shock sizes. You might have to have different forks on there depending on how you like to run your stock travel, and you're going to need different upper links. The lower link, however, is the same between both, but yeah, that is something to note there. On top of that, both models do have the flip chip for the geo adjust, so you have a low setting as well as a high setting. And this is interesting because this is going to be one of the first years that I actually think the low setting for me might not be the setting for me. I actually think I like the high setting in the LT version. On the SL version, I'm still experimenting between both, but it is very clear that Pivot is taking a big step in the progressive direction when it comes to geo in both these bikes. Another thing that I want to point out is you do have internal frame storage finally on Pivot Cycles' mountain bike line. Now, in terms of weight, this Pivot Trailcat SL in a size extra large, and this is the XO transmission build with DT Swiss 1700 alloy wheels, is coming in about 31.15 pounds. The LT version, very similar build, so basically XO transmission, alloy wheels. However, you get the Fox 36 and a Fox Float X. It's coming in about 31.86 pounds, so about half a pound, a little bit more than half a pound weight difference between the two. Me personally, I feel like I've been preferring the SL version. I think Hannah really likes the SL version as well. Before the ride, I do want to give a huge thank you to Jensen USA for sponsoring this video. If you didn't know, Jensen USA is one of the largest online bike shops out there, and they are awesome. They have so many bikes and parts in stock ready to ship to you with same-day shipping. Their prices are incredible, and their customer service is second to none. They are rider-owned and have been around for 30 years, so they know how important it is to not only get the best deals, but also keep the time off the bike to a minimum. So like I said, they offer same-day shipping, and their customer service is backed by gear advisors to help make picking the right item or bike out very simple. And like I said, their prices are incredible, some of the best deals in the industry, and I personally love playing around with their online bike builder because like I said, they have so many rad brands to choose from. The customization options are endless, and we can't recommend Jensen USA enough. Like I said, you guys, we can't recommend Jensen USA enough. Not only are they one of the largest pivot cycles dealers in the nation, but their customer service is top notch. And in today's market, it's not only important that you get the best deal out there, but it's also important that the best deal is backed by amazing customer service and a really knowledgeable team, because bikes today are getting so complex. And so if you can rest assured knowing that you're not only getting the best price out there, but also solid information to help you make your bike buying decision, you really can't beat that, and you really can't beat Jensen USA. So huge thank you to Jensen USA for sponsoring this video. Let's go ride the Pivot Trailcat SL out here in Catalina, Tucson, Arizona. Look at this, we have company. What do you think about the Trailcat?
He's a trail cow.
He is. He's a pivot trail cow, and he approves. And you know, I'm pretty stoked that the Trailcat is the first bike we're diving into this year, because this one's a fun one. I think a lot of you guys are gonna be very impressed.
I can't believe this is the SL, because honestly this bike feels like a lot of travel.
Going up. Nice, Hannah.
I know how I
Yes. So good. Like a little slaw canyon. Now, once again, you guys, think anything technical up is gonna love the Pivot Trailcat. Crushing it. Now is where it starts to get a little bit interesting with the climbs. We got some big slabs that are pretty steep, and traction, no issue on the Trailcat. Nice, Hannah. A little bit more slab climbing. So good. Look at that view, guys.
Is that Mount Lemon?
I think Mount Lemon is that one, or is the whole thing considered Mount Lemon?
I don't know.
Almost time for downhill. Super stoked on that. So much traction. Nice little rock spine right here. The one thing about riding out here, you have to be very careful of cactus. As you can tell, all around you, it is very sharp and prickly. Nice, Hannah. Oh, it feels so good to be mountain biking and not road biking. I love road biking, don't get me wrong. Mountain biking is so much funner, guys. Woo. I'm like ducking and dodging for some of these cactuses sticking out. This is a little up and over. Haven't done one of these in a while. Let's try it on the Trailcat. So controlled. Let's see if I can even, so much control through it. There you guys go. That is the Mo cactus. So once you guys ever see a Seguro, you probably will see me too. Following Hannah into this one.
Oh yeah.
Nice, Hannah. Awesome. Sick. Crushed it. Nice.
Trying to get back into mountain biking mode. Feels really, really capable, and it feels like way more travel than it is. So yeah, again, it would be really interesting to see how the LT feels, because I feel like this is enough.
Man, the sunsets out here, very tough to beat. Nice. Awesome. Nice, Hannah. One more extra credit here. We're gonna see if I can get this one. I don't know, we'll see. Nice. Oh, so good. Oh, I don't remember where it goes down. Okay, right here. Nice. Guys, I am blown away how what Pivot was able to do with 120 millimeters of travel. Craziest thing is that the LT is even more capable, and it really goes to show you in 2025, short travel bikes are gonna be absolutely insane. Should we make our way out of here, Hannah?
Yeah, the sun's going down.
The sun is gone. All right, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that ride out here in Tucson, Arizona. We love riding out here, and this is probably one of the perfect bikes for this 50-year trail system. Once again, you guys, the Pivot Trailcat SL is a very interesting bike because it feels so much more capable than its travel looks on paper. But it is very apparent that Pivot was trying to go for the do-everything trail bike with the Trailcat SL. In terms of climbing, it's a Pivot with a DW link. It's super good in and out of the saddle. I love that DW link efficient suspension design, and I really do feel like it is probably gonna be one of the better pedaling bikes in this travel category. I do think that the DW link with these Trailcat SL does have a little bit more of an active initial stroke, which is awesome on slow tech climbs. However, when you get out of the saddle, you really put that power down. The suspension feels like it tightens up slightly, that classic DW link approach, and you get that nice efficient feel out of the saddle. In terms of the actual geo when climbing, I love the seat angle on the SL version. Even in the low mode, and the high mode is even better. And I feel like both the low and the high mode are usable. In terms of descending, like you guys saw out on the trails, the SL is so capable, and it really does feel like it has more travel than it actually does. It's very capable, and it was constantly surprising us in how much it was able to handle, especially out here where it's slabby, a lot of compressions. Once again, we never really felt underbiked with the SL, and yeah, very impressed by how Pivot was able to make such a capable descending bike with the SL. Now, comparing the SL to the LT, like I said, I've had a chance to spend time both on the SL as well as the LT. I think the LT is very capable. That 36 up front is very confident inspiring, and is definitely a little bit more aggressive than the SL version. When things get hairy, it just feels like it has a touch added confidence on there. Now, for me personally, I think the SL was plenty capable. It's going to be interesting over the next few weeks putting time on both. However, for me personally, I really like that idea of that short travel bike that's very capable, and I feel like you get that with the Trailcat SL. I feel like I do appreciate the seat angle on the SL. It's a little bit steeper than the LT. I do feel like on the LT, that seating angle when it came time for climbing, especially in the low mode, felt a little on the slack side. The SL feels perfect both in the low and the high, and also the bottom bracket height on both the low and the high felt very usable. I felt like the low mode, the bottom bracket actually felt pretty low. I feel like there's going to be times where I'm actually going to ride this bike in the high setting. In terms of anything I dislike about the bikes, like I said, just the seat angle on the LT, it's going to take some time getting used to for me. I do want to put a lot more time on the saddle on that bike. The Maven brakes for some people on the SL version might feel like a lot of stopping power. I know for Hannah, she felt like it was a lot of stopping power, so that is something to get used to. Yeah, the only thing that it would have been cool to see is maybe some people might want a Trailcat SL to be a little bit lighter. So it would be interesting to see how light you can get this build. Obviously, they have the SL and the LT version. It would be interesting to ask Chris Kokalas, and maybe we'll ask Chris Kokalas this next week, if they would have been able to get the Trailcat SL even lighter if they weren't trying to do the LT and the SL with the same frame. Obviously, it's super cool. It's almost like you're getting 4 bikes in once with the LT and the SL and the low and the high. However, it would be interesting to see, like, if you were to take those adjustments out of it and just see how light you can make this bike maybe without the internal frame storage. Stay tuned for all of that. We have so much awesome content coming at you guys soon. I am in love with the Trailcat SL. I feel like it's a very capable, efficient 120mm trail bike. The LT version is also even more capable, pedals really well. It's going to be interesting over the course of the next few months to put time on both of these and bring you guys that long-term review and that project coming at you guys soon. What do you guys think? Do you guys have any questions about the Pivot Trailcat SL? Let us know in the comment section. Be sure to subscribe, hit that like button if you like this video, and until next time, you guys, ride awesome. You.